先は総合にってのきつさも両立がなく I really, really needed that song today. As I have had an absolute hell of a day. I spent hundreds of dollars between taking care of a long overdue utility bill that had languished to the point where I had to go to a physical location to pay it off and be treated incredibly indignantly. More on that in the future. If you're in my Discord, you already know. In addition to having to take poor Alucard and Cormier and cram them into tiny carriers to get them to the pet vax to get vaccinated. Aside from one little hurdle and some formalities, everything's go for the apartment tomorrow, 2:30. I should be finishing up some paperwork, getting the key, and you bet I will be doing an impromptu stream from there. Because what I've been working towards for years has finally come to fruition. That's not why we're here, though. We are here because Kent Hovind continues to exist. And it is my duty, since I accidentally ran AJ off. God, I really need to get in touch with him, but I feel like I'm the last person he wants to see at the same rate. Love the dude, though. I really hope he's doing well, and I wish he'd come back and do some more Hovind videos. Because I miss AJ. I miss watching AJ's videos. They were fun. But since he's not doing anything still, it's my duty to continue. The music at the beginning was meant to get back to you sooner. Tigre, I posted the link just a bit before you did. The artist is known as Asaki. Let me look on their Remy Wiki page and double check their actual name. Real name unknown. They are an artist who did work with Bimani, Konami's music game division. That song is from Guitar Freak Drum Mania, Poppin' Music, and even DDR back circa mid to late 2000s. So the song is right around 20 years old, actually. And that was a full version of it. Song title being Konoko no Nanatsu no Oiwai ni. Yeah, I'm not too good. Something funny is that it's actually easier. Like with Korean, I can read that a little better. It's actually easier to pronounce that in the Korean Hangul that I can read than Romanized. I tend to cluster up. So stuff is like that. All right. That being said, we have been far enough in here. I have got to, yeah, you said duty. We're 10 minutes in. It is time to go on and whack the Hovend. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm not out of the woods yet, but everything else is now academic. Why do you think I want? I'm saying it as a half joke, but honestly, let's be very real on the AJ situation. I came in inspired by him and started doing just a few little videos, then started streaming, then just boom, hit every fucking day. You can't tell me that that didn't make him feel pushed out of things. It had to have, and I hate that. Um, And so I'm just figuring, combined with any other number of factors going on in life, it may have pushed him just away from this for a while, and it sucks. I don't know though. I've got his number. I've got contact. We're friends on Facebook. I should pop in and say hey, and I feel guilty for not doing that. But at the same rate, I don't want to intrude on his life. And I hope one day that he and I get to meet up in person, hang out, chat, have fun, and just be fucking goofballs and crack about 500 Holven jokes. I fucking love AJ. Never think for a second that I don't absolutely love that dude. No homo. Little homo. Anyway, I'm amped up on way too much coffee and soda. Like I'm at 50-50 on some McDonald's stuff here, and I got some burgers I'll eat eventually. Like I said, I've had a hell of a day. This stream already has been going for near 11 minutes. It is time to share screens and whack that Hovend. And as you can see, we are actually at a point where Hovend is live currently, but we're not going to talk about that. At least we know that Barabbas is the next character. Instead, we're going to watch part 2 of Balaam because apparently there was enough extra to say about Donkey Man. So let's fucking do this.
And he's really not. Most sports involves the fake, okay, to fake them out. You pretend like you're going to jump and then you run. Satanism.
Just like religion, Kent. Also, what the hell is this? Is this old Dinosaur Adventureland? I think this is. Hang on, we gotta watch this.
Master at producing false religions to
like Christianity.
Get people going down the wrong track.
Like Christianity.
He wants everybody to go to hell. God wants everybody to
go to hell. Kent, if God wants everyone to go to heaven, why doesn't he just let everyone go there? See, your religion makes no sense. I just got to hear that again.
Get people going down the wrong track. He wants everybody to go to hell.
Go to hell? All right, enough of this shit. I already spent 11 goddamn minutes just rambling before the stream even got going. All right, let's do this shit. Leroy Jenkins.
Amen. Listen to that guy. He's right. The only way to be saved through Jesus.
Eat a dick, Kent.
Jesus Christ. So you guys had a long drive today to get your car. Did you get your car down here? We have a Ford product now on our property. I don't know what to think about that, Joseph. No, that's great.
You know, it's a testament to how much I love you all that I continue to do this. And the fact that it is slightly lucrative. Totally, like, the per hour wage is garbage. Let me be real. It's slave wages. But I do have fun doing this, but it is such a toll on me. So I do it for y'all. The extra shekels are just a bonus. And yeah, AJ created the Hovend, but Aaron Ra created the Hovend impression by parroting him saying, it's just lines on paper. And we all kind of rolled with that. AJ, no, that Amazing Atheist? No, that's TJ. TJ. Why am I drinking so much coffee at this late hour? Because, god damn it, if you put vanilla coffee in front of me, I will drink it. It is going to happen.
Welcome tonight. My name is Kent Hovend. This is March the 2nd.
Your name is Kent Hovend, really? Are you sure about that? Is the name written in all capitals, Kent?
2026. That I will be covering the character named Balaam in the Old Testament. He's the guy that a donkey talked to him. And the atheist.
It's funny. I listen to you so much. I imagine Ken hopping around DL injecting Hovend once in a while. You know, a Hovendite left a comment earlier on a couple days ago on a video, and he was pulling the classic, someone living rent free in your head. Kent doesn't care about you. That's why he pays you no attention. And I'm like, no, Kent can't respond to me because that would involve, one, going through far too much content. Two, him having to hear way too much profanity, and you know he hates words like that, but whale penis is perfectly acceptable to say 500 times in front of children. And the only person and they always want to say the rent free in your head thing, it's like, no, I just do this for fun. He's a lol cow, and he's the one I've decided to milk for laughs. Hovend, however, seems to be hell-bent on just constantly milking Simon Dan for views. He's the one who seems to have someone still, living rent-free in his head, which is the stupidest goddamn thing. It's like, oh, you can't pay too much attention to one particular thing or else random meme. So I don't fucking know. That guy was a douchebag. I'll leave I'll make a video on that eventually. I'll be able to do so much when I get to the new place. And I really, really, really hope nothing falls through on this. Nothing should. Realistically, nothing can fall through on this. Everything is good. The worst I have to do is deal with another trip 17 miles away to be treated like some kind of goddamn scum of the earth. But more on that. Well, if you're in the Discord, you know. If not, join the Discord. Seriously. MLGW can eat dicks. I left a real shitty review, and I will continue to leave shitty reviews, but they're a monopoly service, so I have to use them. So, I'll be making a phone call in the morning. Anyway, let's deal with Hovind.
Love making fun of that story. And I mentioned last night they believe rocks eventually can learn to talk, turn to people, evolve into people. So crazy religion, evolution. Let's see, we're on Facebook.
Except it's not a religion, Kent. We've explained to you 1,000 times. It does not in any way, shape, or form involve rocks coming to life. Your attempts to show that it says that are absolutely ridiculous. You just show random mentioning of what the planet is made of, which, yeah, it's a terrestrial world, so it's going to be silicates, i.e. rock, and forming planets tend to be in a molten state because there's a lot of energy in all those material impacts. It's kind of how physics works, you dumbass. Mr. I don't know what light is. You might not know, but we understand particle wave duality very well. Okay, thanks.
Rumble and X and our own app. Did we get that paid?
I'm not sure. That's Bobby.
That's Bobby. Okay.
You mean you don't know, Joseph? Let's see. KentHovind.tv. We're going to share this tab. Oh, look. It still fucking exists. Aww. They fucking paid the bill.
Our Instagram, our TikTok, a bunch of channels. Tell everybody about it, okay?
You're on a bunch of services or platforms, Kent. YouTube has channels. Rumble may or may not have channels. I don't know what a particular account is called on there. You need to learn the terminology. Could sound like a geriatric ass boomer. Oh, wait.
Let's see, 2026. You know what that means? It's been 2026 years since Jesus came.
Except, no, even you acknowledge that the things are wrong. It is simply an arbitrary dating point. Hey, Kent, and here's audience. I'm going to let y'all in on a secret. The sci-fi story I'm writing, I'm not exactly precise on time periods when it comes to real history versus history in the universe. Pseudo-futurism, using a different a different calendar. But I'll give you a hint. The internal calendar that my sci-fi story is going to use, the zero date is 1942. When the first artificial fission events were done. Basically, our first proper nuclear reactions. Chicago pile. That's what the basis of my time scale is going to be on. So you can work the math from there and find out what year in our calendar this story is happening in.
Every time you atheists write down the date, I'd like you to think about that.
The fact that we're using a dating system, we've all agreed on using a dating system that is based off of some arbitrary point in some story. Okay, whoopity fucking do, Kent. That doesn't mean shit.
You're using Jesus.
You shitty ass grin.
You're writing about it. Yeah. Okay. That's okay. Let's see. March the 2nd. Hey, Balaam. Second lesson. Okay. Let's see. We're on a bunch of channels. We're straight north of Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah. See, I've been so out of loop. I didn't even see that Dan had whacked Kent again. If Dan does whacking. I consider him doing whackings. Perhaps he has a British euphemism that'd be more, a proper English one. Let's not even go full British. Let's go straight English.
Pensacola, Florida, 70 miles. Little bitty town of Lenox, Alabama. Old-fashioned independent Baptist church right here, Genesis Baptist Church. We believe God created the world in 6 days, like he said he did.
Yeah, we understand photons well enough to mass-produce devices that make images out of them, Kent. Yeah, seriously. You and I are the same way on this. You're more vocal about it, but the fact that he does not comprehend the photon just absolutely fucking amazes me. He's like, no, dude, we get photons. We're all about photons. We understand electrons. Hell, we got bosons down. We've got leptons down. What more do you want, man? Come on.
The Earth is not billions of years old, and all the layers from the Earth were made in 1 year in Noah's flood. There is no...
Yeah, I believe Rumble did have channels. It's just a matter of terminology, what they actually want to call the thing. Yeah.
Geologic column. It's stupid to think the layers are different ages. Stop and think. Where are they coming from? It's so dumb. There's no scientific evidence for evolution at all. It's a religion. Nothing more.
Okay, none of this has anything to do with Balaam. Why can't you just focus one goddamn day of your miserable, pathetic ass fucking life on just teaching the Bible and not this bullshit?
Believe it if you want. Okay, we're finishing Noah's Ark. We got, I mean, what, 20?
Fishy Noah's Ark, come please come see our 1/3 box. It's a 1/3 scale box. All that money that we spent on this could have fed homeless people and given them shelter. We could give homeless people shelter in this, but nope. They just piss and poop all over it and probably vote liberal, and we can't have that during Lenox, Alabama.
Some days, not many, I don't know, work days, 28, I think. So, got to get busy. Finish the arc. We need sheetrockers.
By the way, I need to mention the apartment that I'm getting, the unit. I know the unit. 30 years ago, when I was just a kid, I was, 10, 11 range. My mom worked with a woman who lived in the apartment that is a cross from the one I'm going to be renting. Isn't that fucking wild? And that's presuming that that unit in question is the one on the left from the way I will be entering the unit. If it's the one on the right, then that means it's the same one. I bring this up not just for the weird serendipity of it, but the fact that how on the internet, and Hovind wanting to make apartments inside the Ark is what made me think about this. On the internet, people talk about someone living in someone's basement, what have you. These apartments have a very interesting property that is very atypical for Memphis, and I loved it when I was a kid going over to visit. They're semi-staggered in such a way that the first floor is actually downstairs. And by first floor, I mean the ground floor, for those of you in the UK and the like. The lowest level that is not a basement, because we generally don't have those in Memphis, is in ground by, let's see, I'm trying to think from my area, about 8 feet, so nearly 2 meters. Yeah. Yeah, there's a little sliver, sort of, almost like a typical basement. And that's the way the apartments are. And I fucking love that. Dirt insulation around you. I'm sorry. The idea of the planet itself blocking the sunlight and keeping the warmth in. Oh, perfect. As you can tell, I'm very excited. Very excited. And hyped up on coffee. And this is going to be a very long fucking stream if I keep this up. But I just wanted to say that my place of residence soon will be infinitely better than any shitty ass apartment that Hovind is building inside of a garbage ass Noah's Ark replica. That's 1/3 scale, 1/3 height, and has tiny plushies in it. Tell me, Kent, does the whale have a scale model penis? Inquiring minds want to know.
Landscapers, plumbers, painters, get down there and get to work. Okay, let me get to slide number let's see, home 1715. Tonight, Numbers, chapter
I'd like for Kent to wrap his head around strange matter.
24. Balaam. Yesterday in Sunday sermon, we learned about Balaam going against God's will to go curse the children of Israel for the Moabite king, who hated them for no reason. Along the way, an angel stopped the donkey. Balaam beat the donkey, and it spoke to him. You can read the story for yourself in Numbers chapter 22. Let's see, Numbers 22. And the ass saw me and turned from me these 3 times. Unless she had turned from me.
Oh, is synchronicity the word I'm looking for? If it is, cool. I'm imagining this is a correction on that, and that I chose the wrong words. So, okay. Synchronicity.
Surely now I had slain thee and saved her alive. This is the angel talking. Balaam, you're lucky that donkey stopped, okay? Because I'd have killed you. And Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, I've sinned.
I just happened to be thinking of stuff on I'm an overclocked MOS 6502, 2 megahertz for C60 or C128. Nah, try 20. Yeah, Chris made a point for Rochester could make it. Kent's ministry is a joke with garbage priorities. You goddamn right it is. Scientific advances are made just so Kent could put his dumbass on the internet, cursing the very science he made possible. I mean, it's just incredible. Bruce, you were recently in Memphis. Cool. I wish you would have, been like, hey, can I come stalk you? Gonna come as Batman, so you don't know. I'd have been like, okay, shit, meet me here. No, things are dire in Alabama. UNT moved through Alabama and was appalled. Yeah, Alabama fucking sucks. Tennessee's boring, very boring.
For I knew not
But it is home. And it's less boring than Arkansas. And at least Tennessee has hills and trees. Arkansas, most of it looks like it just begs for apocalypse. And then you get closer to Texas and you get trees. Then all the trees just disappear. It's very weird.
that thou stoodest in the way against me. Now therefore, if it displease thee, I'll go home again. I'll go back home. So, does Balaam go with the guys? Does he curse the children of Israel? Is Balaam a good guy or a bad guy? What happens to the Moabites?
15 feet long, no matter the size of the whale. So you're telling me if Kent had like a 10-time scale whale that you could walk around inside of for whatever reason, it would still only have the 15-foot penis? Or would Kent go on and supersize it? 150 foot. Oh, we're going to take that, yeah.
Well, I said, tune in tomorrow yesterday. That's today. The angel of the Lord said to Balaam, go with the men, but only the word that I shall speak unto thee, that thou shalt speak. So Balaam went with the princes of Balak. And when Balak, that's the king, heard that Balaam was...
Oh, okay. Synchronicity is not a correction, just a word Jung used for interesting coincidences. Okay. I've been aware of that word. I'll have to try to put it more active in my vocabulary.
was come, he
I'll
went...
just say vocabulary. I don't even know. There's got to be a joke there. Vocabulary. I am hyped up.
out to meet him to a city of Moab, which is in the border of Arnon, which is in the utmost coast.
You know what's even worse than Kansas? Goddamn sermon. I'm already ready to quit. How long's the stream been? 30 minutes? All right. Bye, everyone. No. Oh, I muted him. Good.
King is excited. This false prophet came because he wants them to curse Israel. And Balak said to Balaam,
Oh, don't worry. Israel does a fine job giving everyone reasons to curse it.
did I not earnestly send unto thee to call thee? Wherefore camest thou not unto me? Am I not able indeed to promote thee to honor?
Romeo. What is this shit? Shakespeare write this crap?
What would that king just say? Balaam, why didn't you come first time?
Because you weren't doing it right. You got to give the reach around.
I can promote you to honor. See, folks, nothing has changed in 3,400 years. Politicians still today, crooked politicians and others, still offer bribes to get their way. Hey, I'll give you $5,000 if you vote for this bill I want passed.
Hey, Kent, you think that's bad? Let's take a look at capitalism.
Nothing's changed. Judgment Day is going to be interesting, Joseph.
Yeah. If it happened, I'm pretty sure Trump would, well, you don't even want to know what likely would happen to him. I mean, you know those paintings by that one guy? I think his name starts with a B, not Bauhaus, but like those really weird paintings, like, yeah, like Dante's Inferno era stuff, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's going to be like all of those.
Very going to all be revealed. Balak said, see, and Balaam said to Balak, lo, I am come unto thee. Now, have I now any power at all to say anything? The word that God putteth in my mouth, that shall I speak. And Balaam went with Balak, and they came to a city with a hard name. Look, when you get to the hard names in the Bible, skip them. Don't spend your life trying to pronounce some things. Just move on to something else, okay? And Balak...
Okay, Hovind told us to move on to something else. So what you guys want to watch? Sadly, we're contractually obligated to deal with more Hovind.
Offered oxen and sheep and sent to Balaam and to the princes that were with him. And it came to pass on the morrow that Balak took Balaam.
Yeah. Hermimus Bosch, that's it. Still offer brides? Y'all are catching stuff I'm not even hearing. I am so amped up. Did I mention I'm amped up? Oh, I'm going to be in Memphis once a month for the next 12 months. Son was enrolled in medical trial. Okay. All right. Email me. Let me put that in. There. Shove my email in the chat. Hit me up. I'm legit open to random hangout, what have you, and definitely I'm just curious on what's going on. Not to pry into your life or anything, but Memphis native, so I know what kind of stuff that could entail. So, yeah. So, fuck, did you sign a contract like that? Dude, the paper was blank. Someone asked for my autograph, and then after I signed it, as soon as it happened, boom, all the text pop up. It was fucking pure evil, man. Then I read it, and I was like, oh, you motherfucker, I thought this was just a neat parlor trick. So that's how the devil came up from Georgia and said, hey, you're whacking Hovind till you die. On the plus side, my soul's value has increased to 3 shekels. That's a lot.
And brought him up to the highest places of Baal.
Also, I apologize. The jokes are going to be far more garbage than normal. Once again, amped up on the coffee. The stream's never ending. It's almost 8.
He might see the utmost part of the people. He wants his false prophet Balaam to see just the edge of all the children of it. There's 2 million people camped down there.
And yeah, he really, really needs to be it needs to be understood by Hovind, just the depths of the Epstein files and how many people he certainly supports are in there.
He didn't want him to see the whole thing. See, nothing's changed. Crooked politicians, they only show you part of the issue. They'll say, oh, you got to vote for this bill. It's going to do this, this, this. Well, show me the whole thing. Oh, no, I just want you to read the first 2 pages. He showed him just part of the children of Israel. They want you to see it their way. Isn't that what all advertising is? You got to buy this. Look at this. It's the best thing. You can eat it bad.
Come on down to Dinosaur Adventure Land. Come on, Kent.
And Balaam said to Balak, build me here 7 altars and prepare me here 7 oxen and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam had spoken, and Balak and Balaam offered on every altar a bullock and a ram. And Balaam said to Balak, stand by the burnt offering, and I will go. Peradventure the Lord will come to meet me. And whatsoever he showeth me, I will tell thee. That's a good attitude.
I mean, there's too many goddamn names here. We got Balaam Garden, we got Ball Sack, we got Ball Lick. I mean, what the fuck, man? Too many goddamn names starting with B over around here.
And he went to an high place. And God met Balaam. And he said unto him, I have prepared 7 altars, and I've offered upon every altar a bullock and a ram. And
now, I just want to point out that they do stuff like this in the Bible. They'll have these stories where you imagine like 7 altars and they're just sacrificing these animals. There's just these dead animals there ritually sacrificed, and that's holy behavior. But for example, art in the Colosseum in Castlevania Symphony of the Night would be considered demonic when it's symbolic of the same kind of thing. It's extremely weird, the double standards. Like, these people forgetting that the mythology that they have is the seeds for the artistic style of Gothic horror. And that those elements they think are demonic are explicitly Judeo-Christian. Very weird.
the Lord put a word in Balaam's mouth, and said, return to Balak, and thus shalt thou speak. And he returned to him, and lo, he stood by his burnt sacrifice, he and all the princes of Moab. And he took up this parable, and said, Balak, the king of Moab, hath brought me...
Note the burnt sacrifices, the earliest origin, the root polytheistic deity that became Yahweh, was a fire god. An air elemental with, I guess, fire as a root. Again, the burning bush as well is a fine example of this being of a leftover element.
From Aram, out of the mountains of the east, saying, come, curse me, Jacob, and come, defy Israel. How shall
I... Everyone's coming.
I curse whom God hath not cursed? How shall I defy whom God hath not defied?
Oh, it is defied. Oh, defy, not defile. Okay, sorry. My mind must have been in the gutter.
And from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him. Lo, the people shall dwell alone, and shall not be reckoned among the nations. Numbers 23 captures a pivotal moment in biblical narration where the prophet Balaam, despite being hired to curse the Israelites, is compelled by God to bless them instead. From the divine perspective, Balaam declares, from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I behold him, indicating a high elevated view, both physically and spiritually. This vantage point symbolizes God's sovereign oversight. Just as Moses viewed the promised land from Mount Nebo, and Elijah heard God's voice on Mount Horeb.
And I've been to Nebo Terrace. It's a nice place. It's no, wow, I forgot the human home city in Guild Wars. Divinity's Reach. But it's a nice place. Lament of Innocence. Okay, let me stress again that I just really like Symphony of the Night. And while I have a soft spot for the Castlevania series and obviously the early games, um Symphony of the Night it's special, and I just love the game for what it is. It just happens to be a Castlevania game, which added to the urge to play it when my friend suggested I give it a go. And its uniqueness really pulled me in. So, you know, that's just the game I go to. So I've heard damn good about Lament of Innocence. So I have no reason to doubt that opinion is not a very shared one, and is one that, had I played the game, I probably would agree with.
Balaam's vision is not ordinary. It reflects a revelation granted by God, allowing him to see it.
And yes, Kent is going to very much ignore Diaper Don's obsession with horrible shit.
Israel through divine eyes, not human fear. The distinct identity of Israel. The core message is Israel's separateness and distinct. They're God's people. You ought to watch the news, what's going on over there. Just watch.
Oh, you mean Tel Aviv getting burned to the ground and everyone fleeing like rats? Funny when it's happening to you. Yeah, video them all going around crying, saying they're sorry to Iran, like just moaning out like, holy shit, our apartment's gone. And it's like, I have a level of human empathy, but I don't think this shit needs to be happening to anybody. But you kind of didn't earn my goodwill over the past couple of years, and that enlightened me to be more accepting of, to erase the Israeli propaganda of y'all being the good guys throughout history when all evidence says you really weren't. And before, yet again, someone calls me anti-Semitic, remember that I absolutely love the Jewish diaspora, and I will stress that point. You want to get me mad? Deny the Holocaust. Just see how I react. Say something anti-Semitic. Hating Israel is not anti-Semitic. It's a horrible terrorist nation. I'm sorry, but that's what it fucking became. That's kind of part of how it got fucking started, with the side effect of imperialism and the like. So, prove me wrong. Stop trying to eradicate everything else around you. I thought, you as a nation would be better than that given the history of your people. But apparently, that being an impetus to finally put the Israel plan into action that had already been planned for decades beforehand, you apparently forget where you came from, in a sense. But again, people, I love them. Feel bad, but you kind of ask for this shit. It's like when a maggot, when some fucking, deport all the illegals. And then, dude's wife gets deported, or wife's husband gets deported, because he's Mr. Gonzalez. And it's like, he was a citizen. I thought they wouldn't go after them. I thought the face-eating lepers wouldn't eat my face. It's like, I can't feel bad for you. We fucking called this. One would say it's karma if they weren't misusing that Southeast Asian concept.
God's going to protect them. Balaam proclaimed.
Seems he's doing a real shitty job. Iron Dome ain't so iron anymore. Must have rusted. Hate to say, there's something beautiful about watching those missiles come in and just lay waste to things. It's like, I hate that I to get such joy from that. But this is the brutal nature of reality, of these conflicts, of everything being made unstable. This is what happens. This is what everyone higher up wanted. So if these people don't want their shit getting blown up, maybe they should stop pissing off other countries just fucking because. But we use them as puppets because America's fucking invulnerable.
Lo, the people shall dwell alone and shall not be reckoned among the nations. This does not mean isolation for its own sake, but holy separation.
Bro, Mel Brooks is like the most precious treasure in the universe. Next to Weird Al, like right behind him is Weird Al Yankovic. Straight up. Mel Brooks is just, you have to love Mel Brooks. If you don't, I don't want to meet you. I don't want to know you. Depart from me, ye accursed one. I knew ye not. Come on.
Set apart by God for a unique purpose, and the Jews have been set apart by God for long to 4,000 years.
The Northern Crusades, what the hell could that possibly be? Christians would never do that. Sharia law, no, Christians would never do that.
Now, they are distinct language, religion, laws, customs, moral standards. Their identity is rooted in covenant with God, not in alliances with surrounding nations. Theological significance. This verse underscores God's faithfulness to his promise.
Theological significance, none, because theology is bullshit.
Israel's separation is not a result of their strength or merit, but God's choice and protection. As Deuteronomy says, they're a holy people, holy to the Lord your God. Their distinctness prepares the way for God's redemptive plan.
Can't help but notice that he's using Balaam 2 as a way to give fellatio to the Jewish diaspora. I guess to try to combat the fact that everyone's been made aware, especially through my constant posting of such, that Kent Hovind is a Nazi Zionist. Because somehow those two things exist these days, and it's actually far more common than you'd think. It seems to be like the MAGA position.
Through them, the Messiah would come. That's Jesus Christ. Who can count the dust of Jacob?
Except it's not. See, you want to interpret that, but not only does Jebus not match all the criteria for the Jewish Messiah, but he's most certainly not the character they're referring to in all this. But of course, you want to put that in there because that's the way your stupid story goes.
Jacob and the number of the fourth part of Israel. Let me die the death of the righteous, and let my last end be like his. And Balak said to Balaam, what hast thou done to me? I took thee to curse mine enemies, and behold, thou hast blessed them altogether. And he answered,
Talking about Mel Brooks films, just got to go with the standard. What you got is what we need. And all we do is dirty deeds. It's where the Spaceballs.
and said, must I not take heed to speak that which the Lord put in my mouth? Good answer, Balaam. And Balak said, come, I pray thee, with me to another place, from whence thou mayest see them. Thou shalt see but the uttermost part of them. Again, you're going to show them part of them. Thou shalt not see them all, and curse me them from thence. And he brought him into the field of Zophim, to the top of Mount Pisgah, and built 7 altars, and offered a bullock and a ram.
Pisgah? Kent. Pisgah. Pisgah. That was the name of a school in Memphis, Shelby County area. Mount Pisgah. Come on, Kent.
Ram on every altar. And he said to Balak, stand here.
What's that laughing? And he says to Balak,
Thy burnt offering while I meet the Lord yonder. Do you know the word yonder is in the Bible? See, it's a southern word, yeah. Where's he at? Over yonder? Okay.
yes, Kent, because but fascinatingly, the horrific, inbred drawl of Southern English is actually the most closely related to the earliest English that would have been spoken in North America and is debatably the least changed as opposed to all the other accents and variants. So that's one of the many, many words that stuck around.
And the Lord met Balaam and put a word in his mouth and said, go again to Balak and say thus. And when he came to him, behold, he stood by his burnt offering, and the princes of Moab with him. And Balak said, what hath the Lord spoken? And he took up his parable and said, rise up, Balak, and hear. Hearken unto me, thou son of Zippor.
Jesus must have testicles like space hoppers. He's been about to come for the last 2 millennia. Oh.
God is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Neither hath he said, and he shall not do it, and hath he spoken, and he shall not make it good. Behold, I have received a commandment to bless, and he hath blessed. I cannot reverse it. He hath not beheld iniquity in Jacob.
Yonder's a Middle English word, can't you numpty? Yeah.
Neither hath he seen perverseness in Israel. The Lord his God is with him. And the
Oh, no, man. I've seen a lot of perverseness in Israel. You know, there's rumors that Epstein didn't die and that he actually moved to Israel. So that'd be some pretty big perverseness over there. I don't necessarily buy it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
shout of a king is among them.
So call it 60-40 to him having kicked the bucket. But, you know, there's still a lot of crap about that. I'm just saying, Epstein conspiracies are far more believable than any 9/11 conspiracy bullshit. Just saying.
God brought them out of Egypt. He hath, as it were, the strength of a unicorn. Unicorn's mentioned in the Bible several times. I don't think anybody knows for sure what it is. It's not a horse with a horn. Sure.
God's mentioned a lot in the Bible. I'm not sure what anyone thinks it is. It's certainly not some, magic disembodied immortal just existing for perpetuity.
There is no enchantment against Jacob. Neither is there any divination against Israel. He's telling the king, look, I'm a prophet. I can't curse these people. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob and Israel, what hath God wrought? That's a phrase people use all the time. And
honestly, I imagine Jesus coming back and he just talks like Mr. Slade from South Park. Jesus Christ. That's me. I can't really do it, but, well, I kind of can, but, yeah. Let's not get into details.
You see it all over. Look what God has done. Behold, the people shall rise up as a...
Jack Diddley shit, because your God can't do anything that people can do, and for some reason, oh yeah, that's the end of it. Your God can't seem to do anything that people can do, and never seems to do anything anyway, so...
Great lion, and lift up himself as a young lion. He shall not lie down until he eat of the prey, and drink the blood of the slain. And Balak said to Balaam...
Trust Philip, you bring up an interesting thing there. I don't think you realized what you did. You say, quote, I totally believe the conspiracy Epstein lives in Israel. Prove me wrong. Now, what's interesting there is that, technically speaking, the prove me wrong applies to the concept of you totally believing the conspiracy. So, proving you wrong would consist of proving it wrong that you believe the conspiracy. Not whether or not the conspiracy is true or not. Just whether or not you believe it to be. Isn't English great? I hate this language. It's the only one I know.
Neither curse them at all, nor bless them at all. Just quit talking.
Yeah, Kent. Quit talking.
Balaam answered and said to Balak, Told not I thee, saying, all that the Lord speaketh, that I must do? And Balaam said,
Told not I thee, saying, all that the Lord spaketh, that I must do? What the fuck? Ladies and gentlemen, Balaam spitting the hottest bars from the Bronze Age.
Balak said to Balaam, come, I pray thee, I will bring thee to another place. Peradventure it will please God that thou mayest curse me them from there. And Balak brought...
Good point, Mithril. Language in the KJV is purposely archaic. It was about reinforcing older power structures.
Brought Balaam to the top of Peor that looketh toward Jeshimon. See, it doesn't matter which side you look at, the Jews. No matter how you look at them, they're God's people. They're not godly people, but they're God's people.
Which makes no fucking sense, Kent.
God chose them to be an example to the rest of the world. Back 4,000 years ago in the time of Abraham, God called Abraham. He said, I'm going to make a special nation out of you, and you're going to be the example for the rest of the world to follow. And we should all be looking at what laws did God give them and why.
So you want slavery back? Okay, Kent. You first.
Follow that example. Balak thought he could get Balaam to see them from a different angle. Doesn't matter how you look at them. They're God's people. And Balaam said to Balak, build me here 7 altars and prepare me 7 bullocks. They're going to run out of rams after a while, aren't they? They're sacrificing a whole lot of cows and sheep here. And Balak did as Balaam had said and offered a bullock and a ram on every altar. And when Balaam saw that it pleased the Lord,
Carl, thank you. I presume you're catching up on the stream at 2x speed, so once you get here, you'll know that I am greatly appreciative of you and everyone. If I didn't say that at a point today, just know that you're all fucking awesome, and seriously appreciate y'all being here. Y'all are friends, straight up.
to bless Israel, he went not, as at other times, to seek enchantment, but he set his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up his eyes, and he saw Israel hiding in his tents according to their tribes, and the Spirit of God came upon him.
No, Taku, not yet. Just a bunch of Balaam come and Beor and Jacob and I don't know, some kind of orgy. Oh no, they must have went to Rome.
And he took up his parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, has said, the man whose eyes are open has said, he has said, which heard
$5 super chat from Drusvilla. Give me Epstein's rotten corpse with DNA evidence. Yes. Exhume him! Do we even have a declaration on the disposition of his supposed body? You know, what do they do with those kinds of people? Like, what happened to Ted Kaczynski's corpse? What happened to Timothy McVeigh's corpse? I need to know these things. Otherwise, I have questions.
the words of God, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance but having his eyes open. How goodly are...
Also, I just thought about it. I'm going to presume there is a proper grave for Fidel Castro. I presume that's in Cuba, because it couldn't possibly be anywhere else. I would like to go to Cuba and leave flowers there. Maybe one day I'll be fortunate enough to.
Thy tents, O Jacob, and thy tabernacles, O Israel. As the valleys are they spread forth, as gardens by the river's side, as the trees of aloes. I should look that up. Can you look that up, RJ? Lign. What kind of tree is that? I never heard of that one. Which the Lord hath planted.
Of line aloes?
And as cedar trees beside the waters. He shall pour the water out
Yes,
of his...
send the Daleks in. Exhume! Exhume!
his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters. And his...
Oh God, I've got a story. So, if you know Doctor Who, by the way, in getting packed up for stuff, I found my Doctor Who scarf. It was a birthday present from my now ex way back when, and like there's a whole thing of clothing that I never actually wore over here, and I'm like, cool. There's all my clothes that sat in the closet, and my scarf's in there, and I'm like, my scarf. You know, I got a Tom Baker scarf. It's so cool. Anyway, they tell you a story. Back when I liked Doctor Who, we were coming up with oddball Daleks, inspired by the idea of special weapons Dalek. If you know, you know. But one of them I came up with, me and my friend, was defecation Dalek. All the waste produced by the organic parts of Daleks was portaled through defecation Dalek. Its only role was to release this. So what it would do is at a random point, it would go, Ninth Doctor era, elevate, and begin, hovering, go over something, and then follow up with defecate, and just let loose. And the joke was, it was just like, what the fuck, man? Literal toilet humor. But it made sense. Specialty purpose Dalek that was specifically a channel for nothing but waste. Oh, that's back when I was happy. When I was finally regaining sanity before the world crushed me. Made me into the bitter jerk on the internet you have before you. Alright, let's continue.
His king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. And God brought him forth out of Egypt. He hath, as it were, the strength of a unicorn. He shall eat up the nations of his enemies, and shall break their bones and pierce them through with his arrows. He coucheth, he lay down like a lion, and as a great lion. Who shall stir him up? Blessed is he that blesseth thee, and cursed is he that
Yeah, arrest the scarf then.
curseth thee. Look at that verse. Balaam is giving God's words to the king. He said, if you bless Israel, you'll be blessed. If you curse them, you'll be cursed. Look at the history of what's going on over there right now. Praise God, Trump is smart enough to be an ally to Israel.
fuck Trump and fuck Israel. I'm sorry. I want to like Israel, dude. I really fucking do. And I did for so long because I ended up buying the propaganda. I ate that shit. And then after October 7th and feeling bad for them, seeing how they did things afterwards, it's like, hang on a second. This is a little much, don't you think? War criminal, war criminal. Also, I must stress the incredible irony that after Iran fired back, Netanyahu fled to Berlin, Germany, and is hiding out supposedly in a safety bunker. We have a man responsible for genocide hanging out in a bunker in Berlin. Just what's there to say? Crikey. Oh, why the fuck isn't Germany extraditing his ass for war crimes? I'll never know.
Like I said, they're not godly people, but they're God's people, and we should support them. I think that's why God's going to bless America, because we're supporting Israel. Balak's anger.
Yeah, bless us with nuclear hellfire, probably. When you realize that the target Trump has put on every American's head, the second shit gets too hot, it's fucking over.
Was kindled against
you think you're playing 4D, you think he's playing 4 and 5D chess. This motherfucker is playing hot potato by himself with a grenade with the goddamn pin pulled spoon out. Fuse a going. That's how tense the situation fucking is. And we're all hanging around going, ooh and ah. Because it's all we can do. We're stuck here.
Balaam, and he smote his hands together. And Balak said to Balaam, I called thee to curse mine enemies. Did you find out what it was, hey, RJ?
Yeah, Southeastern Asia. They're in Southeastern
And yes, at least defecation Dalek is less full of shit than Kinty Boy.
Asia mainly.
A plant in Southeast Asia? A tree? Ah, okay. What is that? Oh, there it is. Known as the agar wood or eagle wood, refers to the highly aromatic, means it stinks pretty, resin-saturated wood derived from trees.
What does weaponized statistics Dalek shout? Extrapolate. Sorry, I'm a little tired. I can't do the Dalek voice in the best form.
Found in, okay. Lin allos comes from the Latin. Latin's a dead language. It killed the Romans, now it's killing us. Forget it.
No, it's not, dumbass. It's not killing anybody. Okay?
Okay. Therefore now flee thou to thy place. I thought to promote thee to great honor, but the Lord hath kept thee back from honor. So the king says, look, I was going to give you a bunch of money and promote you. But
yeah, I mean, the organic support systems for Daleks, that's an interesting quandary right there. You know what sucks is we're talking about Daleks, and I love the Daleks. Which is weird that I would love something that is pure hatred, that is pure, an ultimate kind of purified xenophobia. Now I tried hatred of everything non-Dalek. But that's something about them. There was a charm to it. It's weird that I'd like them. That also should say something to any other Doctor Who fans about me as a person. Not that I just hate everyone and everything else, but my particular defensiveness, my particular isolated nature, and my reaction to the way the world has been to me over 4 decades of life. I feel like you can extrapolate something from that. And maybe that's just something my ex and shit didn't figure out. 9 fucking years. You think a guy who likes the Daleks should probably be like, maybe he's kind of a loner. Maybe he's a bit quick to defend himself. Maybe we should try to understand him better.
You didn't do what I told you. And Balaam said
Sorry.
to Balak,
Sorry, I know I'm turning into Kent and bringing my own personal life into things, but you know.
Spake I not to the messengers which thou sendest unto me, saying, If Balak would give me his house full of gold and silver, I cannot go beyond the commandment of the Lord to do either good or bad of mine own mind. What the Lord said, that will I speak. And now, behold, I go unto my people. Come therefore, I will advertise thee what this people shall do to thy people in the
Oh, and yeah, send Baron Trump. Send him. Now. Let him go fucking die in Iran. I don't give a shit. Why should he get special treatment? All these other people's kids don't.
latter days. What? Balaam says, King, I'm going to tell you the future of what these people are going to do to your people in the future. And he took up his parable. Said, Balaam the son of Beor has said, the man whose eyes are open has said, he has said, which heard the words of God and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but his eyes open. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of...
I don't want to know how much money U.S. taxpayers have actually given Israel in one facet or another. It's got to be ridiculous quantities. See recent video RFK made? Nope. I don't even know if I want to. That was Kent about to say Ligma for some reason. Looked like a robot chicken skit. That's wild.
Jacob, and a scepter, the king would hold the scepter, shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of...
Yeah, killing the Ayatollah probably, I mean, it definitely made Iran hate us even more. And I thought we were kind of reaching a point where this generation of Iranians was kind of going to start becoming more tolerant of our existence, like not explicitly hating us. But they just got reminded of why things happened 45 years ago the way they did, a little over 45 years ago. How do we get on Doctor Who? I don't even know. It just happens. Scarfs, there we go. Yeah.
Sheth. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies.
Funny, the bone spurs run in the family, but that's the only thing that runs in the family. Well, that and being a sleazebag.
Israel shall do valiantly. 3,400 years ago, God showed a pagan prophet what would happen in the latter days to Israel. There's the nation of Israel, down to the yellow ones, the kingdom of the Edomites, the purple ones, the Moabites, the Ammonites, the orange one. The Jews, their neighbors, their allies, their enemies, and those who call for their destruction.
Yeah, where's Nephlite, Malachite, and Zoasite? I need some Sailor Moon up in this bitch, yo.
Would be wise to study this prophecy carefully. Edom, Seir, Moab, Amalek, etc. have different names now, but the prophecy will all be fulfilled. It's Jordan, Iran, and Iraq, and Syria. These are the ones that Balaam, 3,400 years ago, said, you're going to get hurt really bad by this little nation of Israel.
One, interesting that your Israel map shows the partitions as they were at a point in time. I can't remember when. Two, I posted this on Blue Sky. I want to mention it here. It hit me the other day after the Iran thing that it's interesting that the group that's all obsessed with the concept of states' rights really doesn't like sovereign nations having their own rights to exist as they desire to. Iran can't just be Iran. Iraq can't just be Iraq. That after World War II, the U.S. has to get involved in every single country's bullshit. Or else. Just amazing. The hypocrisy there. These nation states can't do their own thing, but individual states sure as hell should be able to inside of the United States. Same idea.
Just leave them alone. Edom shall
Israel first, fuckface.
be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession of his enemies. Israel shall do valiantly. He's telling the king, sometime in the future, all you guys are going to be whooped by Israel. Out of Jacob.
Let's note that Israel couldn't do shit if the U.S. taxpayer wasn't footing the bill.
Shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth in the city. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable, and said, Amalek was...
Very long story short, Israel's attacking Iran because Israel is hated by Iran, and Iran also hates the United States. But the United States likes Israel because it represents an interest in the Middle East, which is full of oil, and so this is invariably something that the U.S. and Israel themselves would naturally go for, posing a strike against a nation like that. The biggest catalyst of this, however, being the Epstein files and Trump's inevitable downfall, meaning he wants to create a distraction, which includes the idea of creating a state of emergency to where he can cause the 2026 elections to not happen. Which would require far more than just starting a wee little conflict in the Middle East yet again. That's a quick coffee filled summary of it.
The first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. What? The Amalek, the Amalekites. Balaam said, this was the first nation after the flood. People started.
No. Let's correct that. Israel is nothing. Even with America, they're still nothing. Can't believe I'm saying this, but here we are. Americans look at the U.S. and see Superman. Everybody else sees Homelander. Yeah.
Building countries. First nation, Amalek. He said he's going to perish forever. Well, what happened here? Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son.
There we go. We got to have the sex slaves in here. I don't give a damn what kind of sex slaves Anal Lick had. It's all bullshit.
And she bare Eliphaz, Amalek. So you got Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Esau. Esau's son.
Esau! You're talking about Donkey Boy.
Had a concubine, a woman he didn't bother marrying. And she had a son named Amalek. They became all the Amalekites. Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. This is in Exodus, before they even got the Ten Commandments. Exodus 20 is the Ten Commandments. So these Amalekites hate God's people. Irrational hatred. Amalek is found in the Bible 24 times. Amalekites found in the Bible 24 times. The Amalekites, a distinct ancient nation, no longer exist in the physical world. What did Balaam say is going to happen? Going to be gone. They were.
Welcome to the future, Kent. All your little Israeli, all your little Jewish nations also don't exist anymore. And the country you think of as that, the successor state, Israel, is an artificial puppet state brute forced into existence by decree in 1947, 1948 range. Yeah. Also, it's not a prophecy, something coming back, if it's something people actively work for. That's not a prophecy, that's not a prediction. That's just success in planning something.
A nomadic group living in the Negev.
Which really kills me when people are like, look at this video from the 60s that predicted modern cell phones. And it's like, no, people have been working towards this kind of technology forever. They just didn't know how they would actualize it.
Region and southern Canaan, historically known as arch enemies of the Israelites. Their final recorded mention is in the book of Esther, where Haman, a descendant of the Amalekite king Agag, attempts to destroy the Jewish people, but he's defeated. According to historical and religious sources, Amalekites were largely eradicated or absorbed into other cultures over time. The last known destruction of the Amalekite remnants occurred when the Simonites, one of the 12 sons of Jacob was Simon, killed the remaining Amalekites in the hill country of Seir during the reign of King Hezekiah. And he looked on Amalek, and he took up this parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. How did Balaam know to say that? Well, God told him what to say. See,
or it was just written in a book. It's just what the people thought would be a cool story.
I don't think people can understand that God is not stuck in time.
Also, let us note that there's only so many actual characters in the Bible, and they're all having minor interactions with individuals on a relatively small scale, except when they're talking to kings, because for some reason that's so super easy to do in all these empires, just on a whim. It's really funny. A whole lot of tiny main character syndrome moments.
We're the ones that are stuck in time. God sees everything at the same time.
No, just you, Kent. You're stuck in like some weird, perverse version of 1950-60.
How many of you have ever wished you could go back just 5 seconds to undo the dumb thing you just did? You ever wish you, yeah, okay? God never has that problem.
Zoomy, no, see that's a fine example. Star Trek didn't predict the cell phone per se. We had already had radio phone technology well before Star Trek. That existed in the 40s as an available thing, 50s especially. And secondly, the idea of using wireless communication technology to come up with such communication devices, especially the idea of, hey, how about a portable picture phone and stuff as an evolution of picture phone ideas and the like, was an inevitability. It was something people worked towards and therefore is not a prediction. It is purely a matter of something people worked for. Now, if something akin to dilithium crystals and antimatter energy sources were developed that followed that same kind of logic, but we had no working towards that goal, no nothing, and it was purely a discovered phenomena independent, that would be an awkward prediction of things, in a sense. But generally, technology is not a prediction like that because it's always something people are working for. It's evolutionary processes to stuff that already exists. The iPhone was inevitable, if by another name, because of how we wanted to do things. And once we were able to miniaturize computer technology to this degree, we also decided to make it into a phone. And that's what everyone gets asked backwards. The smartphone is not a phone. It's a portable computer that happens to be a phone. And that is its primary useful function. But the portable multi-use computer aspect, the general purpose computer aspect, it makes it distinct from your traditional phone where the device is a phone first and foremost.
He's already standing at your funeral.
I mean, you want to know the easiest thing is the fact that technically speaking, you can basically uninstall phone functionality from an iPhone or an Android device if you really, really, work at it. It's pretty fucking wild. So that tells you plenty.
He knows how your life's going to end. Yeah, he knows it all. And he looked on the Kenites and took up his parable and said, strong is thy dwelling place, and thou...
There's only so many characters in the Bible, and they're all having sex. That too. The Bible.
Thy nest in a rock. You think you're secure. Nevertheless, the Kenite shall be wasted until Asher shall carry thee away captive. Quite a prophecy.
Hey. One of these days, they'll get smell-o-vision down, Pat.
Kenites are going to be gone. They are not a distinct ethnic group today, but their legacy persists through historical and cultural connections. According to the Bible tradition, the Kenites were a nomadic, semi-nomadic tribe closely associated with the Midianites and settled in southern Canaan. Particularly, they are right there, the Kenites. They were known for their craftsmanship.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Why couldn't Kent's Bible predict beyond slavery and the like? Like, what's the deal there?
Especially metalworking, and maintain friendly relations with the Israelites.
And yes, it is fucking beautiful. Those exact words. How, thanks to science, we have all these developments. It is fucking amazing.
There's the Edomites, the Midianites, all the Mite brothers here, okay? He took up this parable and said, alas, who shall live when God doeth this? The ships shall come from the coast of Chittim, and shall afflict Asher, and shall...
My God, this story fucking sucks. How much more of this do we have to deal with? Oh my God, it just keeps going. Okay. Oh my God, we have 10 minutes. All right. Everyone, we're going into high-speed Hovend. 1.5. Giddy up, motherfuckers.
Shall afflict Eber, and he also shall perish forever. Here's Balaam still talking about the future. And Balaam rose up and went and returned to his place, and Balak went his way. What is this Shittim? Well, that's an old English word.
Shittim.
Old Bible word for Cyprus, the island of Cyprus.
Hey, that's where Famagusta is.
In Numbers 24, Balaam prophesied ships will come from the coast and will subdue Asher and Eber, a powerful maritime force. And Cyprus is known for its navy.
Maritime, Kent?
It's an island. You got to build ships. Isaiah 23, the land of Tarshish, or Shittim, is a source of news about Tyre's destruction.
Shittim.
Shittim to the islands, role in trade and communication. Ezekiel 27 mentions Cyprus,
Hey, I'm pretty sure he should say Chittim.
coast of Chittim, used in the construction of higher ships.
Okay, yeah, you're saying Chittim, but still.
Daniel 11 describes the ships of Chittim. Anyway, they're all prophesied. And he took up this parable and said, Alas, who shall be alive when God doeth this? The ships shall come from the coast of Chittim. They shall afflict Asher and shall afflict.
Well, Zoomy, again, the idea of a portable computer is an absolutely, like, just a legendary thing because computers existed at the point. People understood mainframes. They understood the idea of big-ass systems. And it was inevitable that Roddenberry and other futurists would imagine the miniaturization of computer tech, especially since Moore's Law had already, was very early on a concept that began to be understood. And again, people were naturally working towards smaller and smaller computers. So inevitably, something that would be of the form factor of a book or something would make sense. Or like a slate tab, hence the tablet computer. Same principle. All this stuff is naturally an end, a conclusionary point of thinking about, well, what if we can build smaller and smaller computers? What would be a good form factor? And hey, we could just touch it. It could, you could write on it. Oh, yeah, that's an idea. People taking human elements, putting the technology to human scale.
Eber, and he also shall perish forever. Asher, guess what? There's Asher right there, part of Iraq. Balaam said they're going to.
Why can't these idiots ever pronounce these countries' names either? Like Iraq, Iran, not I. Sound like you got some goddamn education. By the way, I'd love if you to pronounce that country right there, Azerbaijan. Recall. Well, I say recall like y'all are going to know. My ex sold stuff online, toys and junk. And one day she had an order from a country that I know very well, but she said completely wrong. She called it Kazakhstan. I looked at her and was like, Kazakhstan? Where Baikonur Cosmodrome is? And she just looked at me. And yeah, I was being a condescending prick, but it's like, one, the number of times I would have mentioned Kazakhstan when there was a launch to the ISS would have been very high. Two, I expect she was more educated than that. She's the one with a bachelor's degree. So I'd expect her to be a little more literate. Just a little surprised at just flubbing that up.
Perish forever. Keep an eye on what happens in Iraq with this war going on right now. Just keep an eye. He took up his parable.
Iran's the one that's going on, dumbass. This isn't an Iraq issue.
Said, alas, who shall do this? The ships, they shall afflict Eber.
Not yet, anyway.
Shall perish forever. Balaam rose up and went and returned to his place. 3,400 years ago, a pagan prophet who was originally enticed by money and whose mule talked to him was given a vision of the end times that we see happening today. Watch the news. Exactly as God showed him. So what happened?
Because God is a rapist piece of shit pedophile.
This Balaam fell anyway. Here's Moses' final words. Remember, Moses led them out of Egypt, followed the cloud and the pillar of fire, and they got the 10 Commandments. 40 years, they wandered around. Moses gave his final words to the people. He'd been leading them for 40 years. The Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever. Because they met you not with bread and with water, by the way.
Tricorders are their own interesting bit. Just a scanner that can just immediately pull medical data. Now, that's a fascinating little thing. And that's something where the future tech gets a little too crazy to be able to figure out for the moment.
When you came forth out of Egypt, because they hired against thee Balaam.
But see, honestly, I don't think you can necessarily create something that would be akin to the tricorder as we understand it. The actual physics just isn't there.
Son of Beor, of Pethor of Mesopotamia, to curse thee. So this is the Ammonites and the Moabites that hired Balaam to do this. Nevertheless, the Lord thy God would not hearken to Balaam, but the Lord thy God turned the curse into a blessing unto thee, because the Lord thy God loveth thee. And all the cities of the plain, and all the kingdom of Sihon, king of the Amorites, which reigned in Heshbon, whom Moses smote with the princes of Midian, and all these other guys. Let's see. Balaam also, the son of Beor, the soothsayer, did the children of Israel slay with the sword among them that were slain. You hang out with the wrong crowd, you're going to get in trouble. How many of you ever got in trouble because you're with the wrong crowd at the wrong time? You shouldn't have been there. And the border of the children of Reuben was Jordan. The border thereof, this was the inheritance of the children of Reuben. Okay. Final words of Joshua. After Moses was going to die, Joshua took over to lead them into Israel. He went to, Joshua fought the battle of Jericho. Okay. And I brought you into the land of the Amorites, which dwell on the other side Jordan, and they fought with you, and I gave them into your hand, that you might possess their land, and I destroyed them before you. Then Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab, arose and warred against Israel, and sent and called Balaam, the son of Beor.
I stopped paying attention. I'm listening to the tricorder talk and the like in the chat. It usually happens at the tail end of a Hovind stream. How long have we been going anyway? Jesus Christ, an hour and 20 minutes. Fuck this.
Or to curse you. But I would not hearken to Balaam. Therefore he blessed you still. So I delivered you out of his hand. So What happened to Balaam? Well, he got killed in the battle. People are still talking about Balaam many years later in the book of Nehemiah. Now they're going to rebuild the wall around Jerusalem. Because they met not the children of Israel with bread and water.
All in all, you're just another Balaam in the wall.
But hired Balaam against him. So God was against him. Oh, my people, in the book of Micah, one of the little books at the end of the Old Testament, remember now what Balak, king of Moab, consulted, and what Balaam, the son of Beor, answered, that ye may know the righteousness of the Lord. So the creation of the world, according to the Bible, was 6,000 years ago. The flood was 4,400 years ago. Moses leads the people.
You know, the tricorder's medical computer stuff is whatever. It's the fact that it can detect things the way it does is weird. It's, you know, that's the phi part of sci-fi right there. Is that it doesn't make any sense to anything we currently understand, and doesn't seem to be something we could actually go to in such a general purpose way, because various methodologies of looking into the human body remotely and doing such medical procedures remotely are all so varied, between radiation scans, optical scans, you know, this, that, the other. It's just in using same processes to fight things, you know, radiation therapy on cancers and the like. It's like the device is just so out there in a fun way. Tricorders are one of those things. It's like, as far as I can understand, we'd never actually be able to build them unless we, you know, truly come up with some sort of universal scanner system like that. That just physics doesn't currently exist, you know.
People out of Egypt, wanders around for 40 years. The story of Balaam takes place near the end of Moses' life. God showed Balaam.
It's like transporters. It's like the idea is cool, but it physically ain't going to happen from what way we understand things currently. And the replicators, same idea.
The future, 3,500 years in the future.
But I mean, technically something could do that, but the amount of energy it would take to make a damn ham sandwich from raw atoms would be incredible.
Locked in time. We are. See, if you take a raft trip around Grand Canyon, you start off, take off on your raft, okay? You got to go with the flow of the river. Hour later, another group comes along. So now you got two groups of people in their raft. Because of the twists and turns in the river, they can't see each other. So people go every hour down. Pretty soon they're all spread out down Grand Canyon.
Oh, God, here we go with this shit again.
Colorado River. None of them can see the other groups. This is like the river of time. You can't see tomorrow or yesterday. You can only see today.
No, we can see plenty of evidence of how yesterday was, in one way or another, up to and including real, you know, recorded at the time real-time video.
So we are stuck in time. We have to go with the flow. There have been many times I wish I could go back or go forward. You know, I'm stuck. This is 2026. Nothing you can do about it. There's a helicopter overhead, though. He can see all the groups in the river at the same time because he's not stuck in the river. God's not stuck in time. We are. So it's really good to get his advice on what to do.
Everyone forgets Zero Park, or Xerox Palo Alto Research Center. I fucking love that acronym. Invented the graphic user interface. Was it the Xerox Star system, I believe, or am I just making shit up? It was also cool because, if memory serves, it was one of those monitors that was because, you know, a 4x3 monitor doesn't really square. It's still a little wider. And it was one of the ones that had a portrait orientation instead of landscape. So that was kind of cool.
In every situation, because he sees what's coming. If you're going down the river, you got a walkie-talkie to talk to the guy in the helicopter. Hey, you can hear me up there? Yep, I got you. I can see you just fine. Hey, up ahead on the left, it looks kind of choppy, and on the right, the water looks pretty calm. Should I stay to the right where it's calm or go to the left where it's choppy? He says, go to the left. No, I don't think you heard me. It's kind of rough on the left. It's calm on the.
You know, the dude would have just said, if he was, I always hate this story, because the dude would have just said, hey, do I go left or right? He wouldn't have gone into detail on what the stuff is, because you can presume the person up top can actually see it. But of course, Kent's going to be like, water's always smooth before a waterfall. Crap.
Right. Yes, I heard you. Stay to the left. It's calm on the right. Look how calm it is on the right. Yes, son, listen to me. It's always calm right before the waterfall. Stay to the left. Okay, go through the choppy. Just do it.
And that's not the case. It just depends on what the hell is in the river up to the waterfall. Kent, come on.
God said it's that simple, okay? God says, I will direct your steps. 89 Bible verses says God. If you ask him, he'll direct your steps.
How many Bible verses talk about killing, Kent? Does God want me to do that too?
If you do what he says, all kinds of verses about this. Okay. Heavenly Father, thank you for your guidance. Forgive me for getting ahead of your plans. Help me to know when to stop and listen for your direction. Your ways are perfect. Thank you for offering gentle grace and guidance. In Jesus' name, amen. How many had to try to lead a kid through the mall or through the store or something? You got to hold their hand and kind of drag them along because they don't want to go where you're trying to go. You're done. Numbers 31. Balaam comes up one more time. This is before he's killed, obviously. Moses was wroth. He was angry with the officers of the host, with the captain over thousands and captains over hundreds, which came from the battle. God had told him, when you go fight this enemy, kill them all. Moses said, have you saved all the women alive? Behold, these caused the children of Israel.
Yep, because that's all we care about is the women, because they're the fuck toys for our future world. Yeah. Welcome to Christianity,
The
everybody.
counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against the matter and Lord in the matter of Peor. And there was a plague among the congregation. Balaam gave counsel. Hey, we can't beat these people in a battle, but we can get them to worship our false gods. We can send a bunch of our prostitutes in there and get them to commit adultery. And apparently they did. Balaam he didn't get it. So Balaam's mentioned 3 more times in the Bible. In 2 Peter, they have forsaken the right way and are gone astray, following the way of Balaam, who loved the wages of unrighteousness. I bet he was thinking about that house full of gold the king was going to give him. Okay, king, I couldn't curse him, but I got to wait to get him to go bad. I'll make God punish him. Woe to them. They have gone in the way of Cain and ran greedily after the heir.
Sailor Moon reference. In the name of Yahweh, I will punish you.
Of Balaam for reward. Revelation 2. The angel of the Lord said to the church, I have a few things against thee. Thou taught them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed to idols, and to commit fornication. Balaam knew the weak spot. The doctrine of Balaam refers to a pattern of spiritual compromise, greed, deception, that leads others into sin, particularly idolatry and sexual immorality, under the guise of religious or moral tolerance. Though Balaam, a prophet of Mesopotamia, was unable to curse Israel, as requested by the king, he succeeded in destroying Israel's spiritual integrity by advising Balak to lure the Israelites into idolatry and immorality through a Moabite and Midianite women. Read the story, Numbers 25. So Balaam did some good for the Lord, but he's remembered as a man who used his great abilities for money and greed.
God, this sucks. I want to go sleep.
Question. What skills have God given you?
The ability to tell you to fuck off, Kent.
Everybody's got at least one skill. What skill did
You don't.
God give you? Are you using your skills for his kingdom or for your personal greed and gain?
I'm using them to cause chaos. Rock like Amadeus. Oh my God, I just fucking quoted Kid Rock. Jesus fucking Christ, I did not just quote Cowboy. Whatever, that cringe ass line was still one of those so bad it's good kind of things. It's just what came to mind. Fuck. It's back before we knew he was a total piece of shit. Like when we thought he was more badass than redneck white trash. Or at least pretended to be a badass. Fucking Christ. There's a lot of benefits to being a teenager in the early 2000s, but man, there's a lot of garbage that came along with it. It gets stuck in your head.
I don't know. You've got to answer to God for that. Does he need to make a donkey talk to you too? Think about it. Lots to learn from Balaam. Okay, questions and comments, Joseph.
Yeah, Rock Me Amadeus is by Falco, but there is in the song Cowboy by Kid Rock the lyric Cause Chaos, Rock Like Amadeus. Find West Coast for my Detroit players, da 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 da, during a breakdown in the song. Yeah. Prayer, very private thing, yeah. And, wait, okay, Kim makes a Vampire the Masquerade reference. Good point. Palo Alto Business Pro floppies are so expensive. Good question. Good question. Punish people in the name of things that exist. Usagi did. Usagi. No, I quoted crap from Kid Rock, but it made a reference to Rock Me Amadeus. The song's in German. Or is it technically Austrian? Is it in German or is it Austrian? Because isn't Austrian a different dialect from German? Like a different language? Oh no, it's German. Okay, never mind. I'm fucking dumb. Okay. I'm tired. For a moment I legitimately thought that Austrian was a language that was a subset of German. But no, now I remember, yeah, Austria is basically Germany, but not Germany. And they're forbidden from ever unifying again because someone had to fuck things up. Wonder if they can play well with Hungary. Why were Austria and Hungary united? Inquiring minds want to know. I'm fucking tired. This is what happens. I've been busy all day. I am fucking exhausted, but I'm amped up on the coffee. So right now, 90% of my brain is like, go to sleep. And the other 10% is like, act goofy on the internet. Also, it's fucking hot in here. And then what Kid Rock before he went crazy was that terrible Simpsons episode, Kill the Alligator Run. God, yeah. Had fucking Joe C on there, man. That episode was fucking weird, man. And, I didn't think much of it at the time because a spring break themed kind of thing made sense, but like, man, that set the precedent for shitty ass stuff. Like we'd eventually get Lisa Goes Gaga. Fucking don't like Lady Gaga at all. I just don't. For herself, she can sing. I like Bad Romance, save for that Gaga Ooh La La crap. I don't care about her. Music kind of sucks. I guess Paparazzi was kind of catchy, but eh. It's typical pop music. I've got an ear for that kind of crap, so a lot of it's catchier than it should be. Shit. What the hell am I ending a Hope and stream and I'm bitching about Lady Gaga for? Whatever, I'm fucking tired. This is what you tune in for. Well, tune in. Tune in to RBMK TV. Austria and Hungary being united is how we got World War One, kind of. Yeah? And, Franz Ferdinand getting shot. There are different dialects of German, High and Low Germans being two of them. Then there's whatever form they speak in Bavaria. Yeah. Yeah. Sucks because I liked Ba with the Ba when it came out. Yeah, I mean, I thought that first album of Kid Rock's was kind of cool. But, Dad, you can't drive. They took your license. I can try. It worked. Yeah, that was a funny joke. Once upon a time, Prussia had its own dialect as well. And Italia. I've never seen it, but I'm aware of it. All right, y'all. I got a little bit of stuff to take care of before I go pass out. I'm going to take my medication, take care of that stuff, pass out, wake up tomorrow, call the utility company I jokingly call Shinra, and hopefully not have to give somebody a very strong piece of my mind. But yeah, yep. Up a late night. Stream is about over, actually, Justin. Germans speak of Bavarians like the English used to speak of the Irish. Touche. All right, that's the end of that. I am clicking in stream.